good evening. Hope you're all doing well. Got a good few people in already. Good to see. Hope you're all keeping safe and relaxing this little week off FPL that we've got at the moment. Welcome to that FPL Lounge. The doors are open and you're all welcome to pop in and say hello. This is a little FPL show that lets you, the audience, clear your minds of any troubles with regards to FPL. And not only ask us three Muppets to try and help you out with any questions that you've got in your mind, but more importantly, ask the guests that we've got on the show. It's just a little relaxed view for a little bit of time on the previous game week and what's happening in the game week ahead. Let's just chill out and get involved. All the links to where we are all in front of your faces. But I can't do the show on my own. I need our very own court jester of the lounge. So here he is. It's Mr. Booner. Hello.
How we doing, mate? How we doing?
I'm doing alright. Yeah, Matt can't be with us again because of work. It's a bit of a shame.
He's a useless wanker, that guy.
I love how you just say it as it is. But no, that is good. Let's get our guest in, shall we? And it was a little bit of a shame. This is usually a double act. Unfortunately, one of them got sent home from work ill today. However, the show must go on, and we have got just the man to carry it on. So let's get him in, Boona, shall we?
You give me a few minutes. Let's just think about it. Now go on, then, mate. Just crack on.
The guest that we've got on the show tonight, I say guest because he is still part of the whole setup, are true gems of this whole malarkey of FPL chat show forums. If I'm being totally honest, and I've just spoke to Nick about it, the way they've got their studio set up, Boona, it makes me want to give a wee refurb in this room of mine every time I watch one of their videos. These two blokes, as I say, are total gems of our FPL community, and if you aren't already listening or watching their regular show, you really are missing out. Very similar to us, I would say, Boona. They've just got a relaxed FPL view. And this evening, I did have written here, actually, two brilliant guys. They are both brilliant guys, but we've just got one of them here this evening. And I know they'll be right up our audience street as well. Over 3k followers on Twitter, hundreds of subs on the YouTubes, and thousands of listening podcast listeners, if that's how you say it. There are no added sugars in 100% juice. It's just the natural sugars found in the whole fruit. So tonight, we are full on juicing with no filters. Please welcome, I did say duo in this, however, it is Nick and it is FPL Juice. Nick, hello.
Hey mate, how you doing?
I'm good.
What an introduction.
Thanks, I work hard on these, you know.
That was unbelievable. I felt like a proper celebrity there. That was amazing.
Well, you are a proper celebrity.
So yeah, Ash isn't with us unfortunately, but you got me.
It's fine. Don't dull yourself
Ash,
down.
Is Ash not here? Because Llama didn't make that clear about 17 times.
Ash has got IBS.
Right, okay.
International break syndrome.
Right, okay. I just thought he had stomach issues. I was like, oh, well, that's if he's got stomach issues, he's got stomach issues. So yeah, I don't know, Nick, I know you've tuned into a few of our shows, and you know that like Boona and I like to kind of get to the nitty gritty and get to know our guests. So I think we'll just go straight into it. Boona, what do you think? Although it is Nick on his own, so let's just get to know Nick, but all around FPL Juice and what it's all about, in case people in the stream have never heard of them. So as we were saying, Nick, FPL Juice. How did it all start? How did it all come about, mate?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a weird one. So basically myself and Ash used to work together, and we just spent most of our working day arguing about FPL and our teams and who was going to do better at the weekend. And we had where we worked, we had probably 3 or 4 others that were all similar minded.
Okay.
And we ended up leaving. We both left that job sort of one after the other. And I ended up working for a place where no one is into FPL at all. So I just kind of missed that chat and that banter really on a weekly basis. So we set up we had like kind of already had this FPL Juice as a Twitter handle.
Okay.
So we were doing tweets on that anyway, just enjoying getting involved in that. And we kind of got chatting, and then we thought, do you know what would be fun? Just to do a podcast, like, you know, and we not saying that we were the best at FPL, because we definitely weren't. Ash had a couple of good finishes. I think he finished 6k once. That's his best finish.
Brilliant.
My best finish was like 60k. But I've been playing for like 15 years, so I love the game. And yeah, just wanted to carry on enjoying that crack, enjoying that banter, and not miss out just because we'd left the job and didn't kind of have that. So that was the plan, really, just to meet other people, chat to other people that were in a similar mindset and a similar boat to us, and I just wanted to have a bit of fun with it. So it seemed like the podcast was the best way of doing that. And then, it kind of grew from there, really. So we were able to, one of our friends, put us in touch with someone who had the studio, and then we sort of, you know what, we'll give it a proper go for this season and go into the studio and, you know, do it live and interact with everyone. And it's kind of, just been really enjoyable, first and foremost.
No, definitely. And I think that's the thing, Boona, isn't it? It's like when I certainly watch the studios, when I watch you on YouTube and see you in that studio, it's so professional. Like, very, very professionally set up. Boona, wouldn't you agree?
Apart from when Ash starts talking about chung tings, but yeah, no, it is wicked. Honestly, it is wicked. It's very enjoyable.
The setup's professional. The content is questionable.
No, not at all, mate. The content. Do you know what that is? Do you know what the content is? The content is real. It's unscripted. Yeah. It's real.
And that's kind of.
We do have some moments.
And I think that's the thing, mate, because what we've found when we're interviewing guests like yourself, and even some of the curveballs that our own chat throw at us, that's what I enjoy about doing these kind of like streams, podcasts, whatever you want to call them, and just getting everyone involved in it. I think that's what makes it for me anyway. You know, we set it up or whatever to kind of just go for it, but it's not about us. It's about you as a guest tonight kind of thing, and it's about the chat and everyone getting involved that way. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
But
some of the features that we do now have basically come out of what people have suggested to us, like in the comments, or things that we were kind of like. There's always a bit of a running joke on our thing. Ash always says I'm posh, and I always say that Ash is a bit of a hooligan. So we have this thing, and he's a bit kind of, for want of a better word, I'm not very streetwise, and he's not very wise, full stop. So this is kind of the ongoing thing we have. And then one of the guys on our stream said, what you should do every week is Ash Meets World. You know, like Boy Meets World.
Oh, yeah.
Program. So now we do Ash Meets World, where every week I give him a word from like middle class that I think he won't know. And then he flips it. And then we do Nick in the Hood, where he takes me down to the hood and gives me some slang.
It's brilliant. It is.
Him and Boona know about. Boona helped me once, actually. He gave me a little clue on stream, and I was able to guess it. Just silly stuff like that, really. It's just good fun.
No, that's brilliant, and that's what Nihal's saying in the chat there. He's first of all, Nihal's waiting on his PS5. That's what he's sitting here waiting on. And
not long now.
And secondly, he's like, hello, Nick in the Hood.
Yes, Nick in the Hood. That's it. Yeah, it's a good little bit of fun, and we try and break up the FPL content with bits of fun and stupidness in between.
You've kind of got to, though, don't you? Do you not think that FPL can be a bit all-consuming at times?
Definitely, we've definitely got to remember, more so this season than any other. I saw Boona's tweet earlier, just as a reminder about mental health and the international break, and taking it as a bit of time to have a think about how you treat the game and versus your real life and your friends and family and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It is just a game. Like, we play it for fun. And I understand that some people, their kind of mental setup, if you like, might make that harder for them to see it as just a game, and it might end up naturally through your personality becoming more than that to you. But you've got to try and just do it for fun. Any game is for fun.
Yes.
Right. It's not. We play it for fun. At the end of the day, we're moving little picture icons on a computer screen around a board and hoping that player might get more points than another one.
Yep.
It doesn't mean anything. It's fun when it goes right. It's frustrating when it doesn't, especially when all your mates are taking the mick out of you. But we play it to enjoy it, and if it doesn't go well, there's always next season. So
this is it, and that's why in the FPL lounge that we're in, we have a Booner, because he certainly likes to remind you that you've had a shit game week, for example.
Well, there's not been too many of those weeks. It's more been the other way around this season. And I think that's why I've not enjoyed it as much this season, because obviously, when you're not doing well, naturally you're not going to be enjoying it as much. And I think this past few days and the next week, like so far, I'm really, really enjoying the international break, to be honest. It's nice to not worry about your team and the mid game week, checking out what your green arrow is and how much you've risen and what your rivals players, how many they've still got to play and how much they might be able to catch up on you. It's nice, isn't it, not to think about it? I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you there, mate.
No, definitely. Let's say hello, Boona, to a few people in the chat. We've already got a few questions that have come in the chat already, which is nice. But yeah, just to say hello, Sam. This is Sam, the guy that does all your memes, Nick, that you may see up and down on Twitter every now and again.
Yeah.
And Sam done that little intro video, which you will now become a part of. So you'll get onto that straight away. Benji, glad you've woken up, pal. Good to see you in here. Nihal, as we've already said. Good to see you. Let's see some. Oh, there he is, FPL fella. I don't know if I've seen you in here before.
He's from Twitter.
Right.
Quite active on there. He asked for a link today, so
nice one.
I think he's tuned into us before though.
No, good. No, I like seeing new faces. So good evening, fella. Hope you're doing well. And George Maron. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. That's my bit, Nick. I just don't do names. But no, good evening to you. He's got a question in already, so we'll get to you, George, no problem at all. John Harris, good old John, like seeing John. Good evening to you, hope you're doing well, mate, and Paulie's there and a few others. Really, really good. But no, crack on, let's get to know this guy Nick a bit better, shall we?
Sure, so why is your name Nick? No, I'm joking. So, Nick, you mentioned you answered one of my questions already. You've been playing the game for 15 years, but how did you kind of get into it at the start?
I played fantasy football. Like, this is how far my obsession with it goes back. So, do you remember? I don't know if you remember these things, but back at school, they used to do like an entrepreneurs sort of thing where you could like come up with an idea to create a business within school.
Yeah.
And you basically had to like come up with an idea to make it.
I'll remember it. Llama won't remember it because that was way like after his time.
Okay.
We can relate.
Well, I'm 40 in the summer, mate, so this shows how long ago it was. But one of the guys in my year did a fantasy football type thing and kind of scored players and did that. And I got into it from there. And then we did it, the one, we had to ring up and make your transfers on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, did that one. Then I went for a load of random ones. Like, the Telegraph did like a draft sort of version. Do you guys play draft?
I just stop you. Can I just say this is the most interesting way I've ever heard anyone get into the game so far.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So just played like really old like variants of it.
Wow.
It just. This must be thinking about this. The school ones must have been like 22 years ago, 23 years ago.
Yeah,
like a long time ago.
I was just finishing high school. Yeah, I was just finishing high school. I'm 42, so yeah, I know I know exactly where you're coming from. But my entrepreneur thing was just buying fags and selling them dearer.
Mate, I think that sounds like a good plan. There's a lot of people that do well out of that now, to be fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so you were on the.
Ash would probably be up for that, to be fair.
So you were in the Telegraph, doing the Telegraph.
Yes,
like
I got
fantasy.
into that one, which again was a bit of a long-winded way of doing it, and then just fell into the official FPL. Once they did the proper launch of it, official FPL, then I was hooked on this game because that was when kind of your mini leagues all came in properly, and just when I started work and with the lads at work, it was always just good fun. Got into I loved every version of the game I've ever played of it. In some ways, I actually prefer the draft because it completely stops a template.
So, I'm interested to hear about this because there's a few guys in the Discord, right? I've been talking to us, Nick, funnily enough, this week about what kind of leagues and stuff are we going to set up for like Discord and stuff like that next season. And there's a few of them asking about draft. I've never done it, so for the benefit of me, I suppose, and I don't know about you, Boona, if you know much about playing fantasy draft, is that
like the normal FPL draft game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does
I've played it,
even...
but I never pay any attention to it
Right,
throughout the season once it's set up.
Is it difficult? Like once it's...
In some ways, it's easier because you basically select your team. So basically, what you do before the season starts, you got all your players, and the most key thing is you can only have a maximum of 8 people in the mini league.
Right.
So you're only ever playing against 7 mates.
Okay.
And then what you're doing is you pick players based on like the American, NBA draft system, I guess.
Yes.
Where you pick players, you rank them in order of what one you want. So
Okay.
you put if you think Harry Kane's going to have the best season, you go for him first. Then you go Salah, Bruno, KDB, whatever order you think they're going to be in.
Yep.
And then there's a random select. So it gets to like draft evening, and it gets to like between the 8 of your mates, it comes up on the screen, says randomly, right, Nick, your pick first. And then I can pick Kane as my first pick.
Ah, okay.
And then it goes from me first all the way down to 8. So the last person...
Then you're going to be last in the next round.
Exactly, yeah. So I'll get picks like 1, and then it'll go all the way down to 8 for your mate. Whoever picks the 8th pick, because they got the last choice, they get to pick number 9 as well. And then
Right.
It goes back up the ladder to me. So I end up with like pick number 1 and pick number 17.
Okay.
Or sorry, yeah. So kind of 16 rather. Sorry, yeah. So you basically it evens out as you go up and down, and then each week you can make transfers. So when all the players are picked, you start the season as normal. There's no captains.
Okay.
You just select your team out of the 11 of the 15 that you want, and then if any players are free transfers, you can pick them up.
Right.
So say like someone like I don't know who did like Bamford. There's a chance that someone might have not gone for Bamford pre-season. Yeah. If suddenly he starts scoring, if he's a free agent, anyone can pick him up as long as you drop one of your players. And then anyone can pick the player that's dropped up. So it's a bit like that, really. But yeah, it's good fun, but it's really good fun if you play it with like 8 close friends all together.
Yeah, 100%. Who all kind of regularly look at it, and I think for me personally, if there was money on the line, I'd probably be more invested in it as well.
Yeah,
so I take
you need a little incentive.
But that one there, then you could set that up under the same account as what you're playing normal FPL with. Then
you just flick between the two. Yeah, you can literally when you go on the app, you just cross backwards and forwards. So you don't. It's not like you don't play either or. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. There's Ash just typed in. Hey guys, it's Ash here. Sorry I couldn't be with you tonight. My IBS is awful. Miss you, Nick.
Well,
he's some boy.
It's probably best that he's not here, to be honest, because he's had a terrible game week.
Oh mate, don't. We can get.
I don't even remember that game week. That feels like ages ago.
We can get into it. It's not a problem. I'm more than happy to get into it, but I certainly didn't have a good game week. I think I scraped through with what I was hoping to get, which was 40, and I managed that with a -4, so I got 36.
No, you smashed Ash.
All right, okay. So
what?
Jeez.
What did Ash score?
Well, it starts with a 2. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, John McEwen in the chat can relate this game week.
Oh yeah, he had a bit. He had a bit of a stinker as well. To be fair, Paulie's.
What does it end with? Does it end with a 7 or is it less than that?
To be fair, ends with a 9. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I wanted to make it sound worse than it did.
Yeah,
I'm gutted.
Just seen John score there. Actually, I didn't realise he'd scored so low this week. He's flying at the moment. With the amount of overall points that he's got, but 24 for the game week. Oh, that's a kick in the nuts. Paulie's asking, Nick, when you played FPL, or when you used to play FPL, can you remember when you used to be able to pick players from the Scottish Premiership as well?
No, I don't remember that. That
sounds
sounds
like
mad. How would that?
Yeah, how would that even work?
Work that?
Yeah, I've no idea.
I would have had Rod Wallace back in my era. Though.
Oh yes.
He was good for 30 goals a season, wasn't it?
Exactly. Aye, Henrik Larsson.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. I know Henrik Larsson. Yeah, I couldn't relate with the previous one.
Rod Wallace.
So
Leeds legend.
Oh yeah, exactly. I thought you would have known about that, Booner.
I'm a lot younger than you lot.
Football teams, Nick, yourself and Ash, we ask all our guests the football teams that they support, and if that team that they do support, does that influence your decisions at all with regards to FPL?
Well, luckily, both our teams are nowhere near the Premier League.
Okay.
So, Ash is Luton. So
come on, you hatters!
No danger there. And I'm actually a Blackburn fan. I say fan. I'm more. The thing is, I do still follow. I do keep an eye out for their results and stuff like that. But I got into them when I was young. Blackburn, yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Venkies? That would be interesting.
Oh, I love chicken, but I don't like the Venkies. It all went wrong, didn't it? Steve Keane, and it was just a sad time, which is such a shame because obviously Jack Walker did, and the family did such an amazing job of building that club up, and then it was all kind of just sold off to the highest bidder, really. And
what happened after that? Are they still there, or have they sold?
The Venkies are still there, mate. Yeah, I mean they're a little bit
hell.
quieter now.
Are they seriously?
Now, but they were just.
Mate,
so
I remember the uproar with the fans there. With we're probably talking about 6, 7, 8 years ago, though, wasn't it? When it was at its peak. But it's more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, long time.
Has it just calmed down since then, or what?
People have. I think when people have just got so browbeaten by it, they've just given up protesting. It's just it kind of is what it is now. They know no one's going to change anything. But they've got a bit better. They're a little bit. They do business a bit better than we did. Because remember when they first started, they were like, "Oh, we're going to sign David Beckham. Honestly, we're going to be in Europe. We're going to be in the Champions League in 3 years." It's like that's not how it works. And then they got the players to do chicken adverts. There's an amazing. If you guys go on YouTube and check out Blackburn Rovers Venki's chicken advert, you'll see one of the best adverts of all time.
Okay.
It's got the players running in at half time, digging into a bucket of chicken. Ryan Nelson, David Dunn. To be fair, I can imagine David Dunn doing that, but I'm not sure about the rest of them.
I'm wondering if that's I don't know, but if it's a similar situation to what Isha was talking about with Newcastle, in that, their owner's just digging his heels in. He's just desperate to sell regardless. And I think I was getting the impression, Boona, that they're, you know what I mean?
Mate,
his
that's
fans...
an incredible advert. I've just seen it.
It's the best, isn't it?
Oh my god.
But yeah, their fans, I think, are almost just at their wits' end now. They've protested, they've made their feelings clear, and it just doesn't seem to matter what happens now. It's not going to make any blind bit of difference.
Well, it seemed like they were going to be taken over, didn't it? By was it Middle Eastern
Saudi
takeover?
Consortium?
Yeah, but and then I can't remember what happened in the end. Did the Premier League put a block on it, or was it just?
I think it was Mike Ashley, wasn't it, or something? There was that Amanda Staveley, wasn't it? It was her, and then there was another group. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It's mad. It's a shame because Newcastle are one of those teams you want to, as a neutral, you want to see them in the Premier League doing well because it does add even not even going back to original, 96, 97 years, but I mean even when you had Demba Ba and Papa Cisse there, and they were a real fun team to watch.
Those days are long gone.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a long time when you think how long it's been now.
That when you had SOS up front.
With Blackburn, sorry, yeah, Shearer and Sutton, and obviously all of the even the midfield. When you look at it, they had some great play. Graham Lasso, David Batty, Colin Hendry was awesome as well. Henning Berg, of course, Tim Flowers. It was a great team.
Is it not?
I just remember Morton Gamps Pedersen's left peg. Filthy.
Oh, he was the man, mate. I tell you, I'm left-footed, and he's my favourite player. If I had to pick a favourite player from the Premier League, he would be it for me.
He was amazing.
There's no rationale behind it. I just love him.
Oh, there you go, Nick. There's a prime example of how our chat works, right? So, I would imagine for you as a Blackburn Rovers fan that Alan Shearer leaving would have been quite a hard one to swallow, but Nihal gives no shits. And he's just like, go and ask Nick, how bad was it for you to lose Shearer after they won the title?
I mean, it was pretty bad, but he was going home, so you couldn't really criticise him too much.
Yeah.
You know? And he did it. He obviously, as people know, he had offers from Man United.
Yep.
And he had, he turned them down. He just wanted to go home. So I always feel like you can't really, when someone does as much as he did, it's a bit like Ronaldo going to Real Madrid. United fans will always think fair enough because he gave everything, didn't he? So you don't take it too. But it was painful. Don't get me wrong. But we signed some good players after that. Still, we had good strikers. We had Dwight York and Andy Cole. We reunited with them.
Yep. Yeah.
So we had some funny combinations, but we wasted.
It must hurt talking about this, Nick. The good old
days. When you consider where we are now, we nearly signed Robert Lewandowski. Do you know that story?
No.
So basically, Blackburn were prime runners. You can look it up. Blackburn were prime runners to sign Lewandowski, and he was flying over to with his agent to do the deal when.
Then he saw the chicken advert.
Then he saw that, and he's a vegetarian, so he changed his mind. But it was when was it Iceland, the volcanic ash cloud over Europe?
Yep.
Oh my God, mate! I know this time so well. I was stuck in India because of this in 2010. That was.
Oh, there you go. Right, so that was when he was meant to sign,
wow.
And then the volcanic ash cloud grounded his plane, and he never ended up coming. And the rest is history.
Seriously?
Jeez.
Yeah. Fuck. That's so
brilliant.
Interesting.
That is brilliant. I love stories like that.
What could have happened?
Yeah.
Imagine that history could have changed. Borussia Dortmund and Bayern could have never had him. He could have led the charge for Blackburn to be back in the Premier League.
That's crazy. I like it. FPL wise, Buna, will we ask Nick a couple more FPL questions?
Yeah, sure. So what sort of FPL manager would you class yourself as, Nick? Would you say you're a bit more differential and maverick, or boring as fuck?
I am differential and maverick.
Nice.
Ash is boring. I'm differential, which is definitely proven because I take hits left, right, and centre. I love it.
Oh, Llama's gonna love you.
Yep.
I love taking a hit. That's one of my favourite things to do. How many have I taken this year? I've done 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God, 10, and then another. So I've taken 18 this year.
I'm pretty sure Llama will beat you.
Yeah,
which adds up.
I think I'm on about 28.
Oh God.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Something like that. But I don't mind a hit. But it's interesting you say that because and it's good. In the dynamic with you and Ash, that'll work well as well. With you being, I wouldn't say blasé, but you're quite happy to take a hit, and Ash is a more kind of steady Eddie, if you like.
Yeah. Well, there's no better feeling when it pays off, is there? So.
Oh, definite. No, I totally agree. Yeah.
And as we were saying at the start, I played the game for fun. And I say the one place where I was doing really badly this year was captaincy picks.
Okay.
It's cost me so much. I just cannot seem to hit a captain.
Yeah.
If I go Bruno, it'll be Salah. If I go Salah, it'll be Bruno, vice versa.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, I took the decision I'm just going to go with fun captaincies.
Okay.
So for the rest of the year, I don't care. So this week, obviously everyone was on Kane. I went Lingard, and it paid off.
Nice.
Nice.
Just because I thought, do you know what? If I do it and it goes wrong, then it's not that painful.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't expected to go that well. So what does it matter?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to do a bit more of that really, and just have a bit of fun. Gundogan in the double game week was obviously a bit of a no-brainer, but yeah, I think that's going to be my plan. I'm going to steer away from the boring captaincies and just go for a bit of fun from now until the end of the season. So I'm not going to win it now, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, never say never. See, that's like John that's in the chat this evening, John Harris. He hit us up round about Christmas time, I think it was, Boona. It was either just before or just into the new year. But he made a decision back then, Nick, that he was only going to be captaining players that were less than 10% owned for the rest of the season.
Nice. Yeah, I love it.
And that was the
How's it
attitude.
worked out then?
I think he's actually hit. He'll tell us the now actually in the chat probably. But I know he's had a few hits, like a few that have come off. I think he's had a few that, like you say, they didn't work out. But he's kind of like, so what? I'm enjoying it, and I've got a smile on my face. But when it happens, like with you with Lingard, you must have been chuffed to bits.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, you notice a massive green arrow. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you captain the same captain as everyone, obviously it could go massive. I see the flip side. If you get it wrong, it could really punish you. But if it goes right, you notice a big jump up and it's rewarding.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pick the right, the sensible captain that everyone else has got, and it goes right, you kind of just tread water. You stay there or thereabouts where you are.
Yes.
So, I think it's more fun.
Probably a really, really good time to actually bring in this whole debate of effective ownership.
Oh, mate, you just read my mind. I was actually on my lips, mate.
In my past life, I was a medium. But yeah, it's something that I'm trying to get away from, but it's difficult. You kind of touch upon it there, Nick. The whole factor of captaining someone who is going to be captained by most people to defend your rank. And I do get why people do it, because essentially you're limiting the chance of your rank getting damaged, but also you're also slowing down somewhat the green arrow, or reducing the green arrow you're getting. And I find it quite boring. I guess it does really depend on how you're doing in the season. For example, if you're high up, you may be more likely to play it safe, depending on what time it is in the season. And if you're playing catch up like me, you might be more willing to take some risks with the captaincy. Does effective ownership come into your thought process at all?
Not in a way that I'm scared to not make that captain. I almost go like similar to what you say. I try and now just think the opposite. I try and go with a player that everyone hasn't got.
Yes.
So if I see that Twitter's full of people saying you got to go Kane this week, only captain choice available, then I'll try and think, do you know what, it'd be a bit of fun to go against it. My main choice of captaincy is also trying to outfox Ash as well. So I'm
do you ever like play a ruse?
Well, yeah, because what he does, right? He basically waits on the show. So every week, same as you go, we'll do like a team reveal. This is my team for the upcoming week and everything like that. And we'll chat about it. And I've noticed what he does. He waits for me to produce my team, and I've made my changes already. I've brought it up, got everything locked in. We do it on a Tuesday night, so it's quite early in the week, to be fair. But I think, how often does a player get injured? Not that often. So I just go with it. And then we go on to Ash's team, and it looks exactly the same as last week. And I go, well, what are you doing then, Ash? He's like, oh, I don't know, I'm still having to think about what to do. and he's such a defensive player, he'll then look at my captain. So this is a prime example. I double bluffed him this week, because I showed him my team.
Do you know what this is? Now
this is a chat.
This is a juice ruse.
Yeah, I like that for me, Hal. Yeah.
So I got him this week because I knew he's trying to catch me up at the minute, and I knew he was going to not want to pick the same captain as me to try and make some ground for once, right? So
yeah,
I showed him my Kane captaincy to force him into a differential move, which he'll hate making because he's so like template and banal. So anyway, that was my captain on the show. Then I've switched it to Lingard, which I always wanted to do. He's then massively overthinking it. He's thinking, oh God, I don't want to go. I want a good captain, but I don't want to. He's ended up going for Ollie Watkins, of all people, right? Okay. Which obviously didn't work out so well for him. And yeah, he was fuming about it. But yeah, it's good fun.
That's
you've got to play the mind game.
That is a mind game and a half. Boona likes a little mind game, don't you, Boona?
Oh, I love a mind game, mate. Especially with Davey. Yeah.
No, that's good, because like I think like what you were saying, Boona, I did see the whole tweet, and everybody that's anyone seemed to be involved in it. That whole thread, about the EO and all the rest of it, and I just like what Nick said there. Yeah, I totally get it. I understand why. Like, just using last game week as an example, Kane was the standout, and if you don't and it's like a fear factor. If you don't captain him, this is how shit your rank's going to be. I don't want to be playing game week for game week like that. Do you know what I mean? As we spoke about before, I'm playing the game because I'm having a laugh. You know what I mean? I just want to play it the way I play it. If it's taking lots of hits or a few game weeks where I'm rolling a transfer or whatever, as long as I'm enjoying it and it's me that's making my own decisions, I'll stick by the decisions.
And there are people out there that don't make their own decisions.
Yes.
And like to copy. And you know some people like that, don't you, Norman?
I do. And it's it's just I don't know. Like, you know.
But the thing is, what's the point in play? If you're
I don't get it,
I always
mate.
think
I don't get it.
I don't mind people asking. Like we have always a thing on our podcast. We're not telling you, like, if we talk about a player, we're not saying you should pick this player. What we're saying is consider this player, have a think about it, weigh it up.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the options.
Yes.
Like, that's all we do. We don't say you've got to pick this captaincy this week. You know, we just talk about what we've done and where it could go right and where it could go wrong.
Yeah.
And people should, because what's the point in playing the game if you're just going to ask people, like on Twitter, you know, what captain should I have? It's like, well,
people do that,
playing?
Mate.
It's
people
not fun.
do that all the time, though.
Yeah. Like we have a community team on Twitter, and we do a vote every week. What transfer should we make? What captain should we make? And that team's sitting around 200 and something thousand.
Yep.
And that team is like, obviously because of the nature of it, is like the most templatey team ever. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not. If you own that team, you'd be like, all right, 5k up, 5k down, brilliant. What's it matter?
I know. I mean, what Booner's referring to is a few people that I know and I'm aware of that will literally watch content creators. So let's just use you as an example, right? So they'll tune into your weekly show.
No, we won't use Nick as an example. We'll use Andy because it's Andy's team that they bloody copied.
Yeah,
right,
you need proper FPL people.
But do you know what I mean, though? Like, and I remember Andy. I'm sure Andy spoke about this.
No.
Twitter.
The only reason why I say Andy is because you know someone that actually copied Andy's team every single game week, and Andy also mentioned that there've been numerous people that he's been brought to his attention that have actually done that.
Yeah,
and I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Does matter. It's like, listen, what is
if it's you and you're listening to us, you're a boring fucker.
You can't even claim the victory if you beat your mates.
Yeah.
Well, they will though. They will though. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know, like, so say for example, they finish. Like, so I know Andy's doing really, really well, obviously this season, right? And that's and that is genuinely his decisions that he's making. Yeah. So we can agree on that. But if the people that I know finish in the top 1,000 because they've literally paper copied it for 38 game weeks, if they then start coming up to me giving it the big un, you know, finished in the top 1,000 in my first season or my second season, blah blah blah, I'd be like, aye, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to,
do you know what I mean?
call them out.
You'd be like, what? But anywho, I'll get off my soapbox. Before we dive in, because we'll need to dive in and ask, get a few of these questions to you, Nick, from the chat that have been piping in. But there's a couple more here that Boona and I and Matt usually ask our guests. Boona, do you want to ask the tower one, and then I'll finish with the usual?
Yeah, no worries. So, Nick, if you were unfortunate enough to be high up in FPL towers and you had the power to make a decision and was it remove a chip or put a new chip in or change? To change anything?
Just change anything.
What would you change about the game?
So my realistic one would be to remove the captaincies. I hate the captain.
Okay.
Like a few times.
It just drives me mad. Mainly because I.
Do you know who else said that, Nick? FPL Salah said that as well.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. See, Salah has let me down a lot this season. Not FPL Salah, actual Salah. So that's probably based on that. So yeah, I definitely feel like the captain chip. I don't know. If I had to put a chip in, I would like to be a proper anarchist, right? And do a chip where you can select any player in your mini league and you can make a transfer for them.
Oh, you're brutal.
That's a belter.
and they can't bring the player back
Mate,
in
can you
until
imagine
next
every
week.
single week you're shitting yourself because someone's taken Salah out of your team home to Norwich?
Wow.
They've swapped in, they've brought in Jorginho and taken out KDB on the last day of the season or something.
Jeez.
That would be the one.
You really are militant, aren't you?
Wow.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
I feel like that could have a lot of value. Not so somehow there'd have to be an algorithm where it wouldn't affect your overall rank. It would just be for the mini league points. I feel like that would be top class.
That's genius. though.
That goes hand in hand though. There's no way that I'd be able to do that. But I'm all for the anarchy.
So there you are, Nick. You're sitting number 1 in the world, and because of the decision that you decided that you were making, Buna goes and swaps out your captain for your last game week. Oh,
imagine if it worked. Imagine if it kind of backfired.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen, Nick? People are just going to stop joining mini leagues.
Yeah,
I
do like that one though. The Escapades is just chipped in with there. Funnily enough, talking about chips, you like what I do there?
Yeah.
I'm here all night. One chip that we would suggest is an auto captain. So like an auto captain chip, i.e. it'll just automatically captain whoever your highest player was on that given game week.
That's boring. That gives everyone forget that. Forget that. I do like taking captaincy away. If anything, do you know what I think we could see massive swings in rank even in the final game week? I double your whole team point chip.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Because you could literally make up 100 points in the last game week, and it's not over till it's over unless you've literally got a 200 point lead. That'd be so exciting.
Do you guys remember when there was an all-out attack chip?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
I actually quite liked it.
Yeah. Get a bit of the old 253, wasn't it?
253.
And that's
isn't it?
Yeah, there's times I've wanted to do that this season, I tell you.
That's another good one that Nihal's suggesting there as well. Like, give a 2 times, so do the usual that's going on the now to your captain, but just add 1.5 to your vice captain. Make that pick a bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
And then if
that would actually give a bit more weight to the vice captain.
Yeah,
it'd be worth kind of having, and also you'd think a bit more about who it was going to be.
Exactly, and then if by some pure pain in the tits your captain didn't play, but your vice captain, did, then you would just lose a vice. You know what I mean? You would just lose your vice captaincy that given game week.
I've actually even thought of a name for the whole team getting double points.
All right.
The name for the chip. Official FPL, if you're listening right now, which I'm sure you are, double trouble.
Double trouble.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Right, Nick, put your mind in this situation for me, please, if you don't mind, young man.
Go for it.
So, Nick, it's the final seconds of a Champions League final, and you are through on goal 1-on-1 with the keeper. You're just about to lace your boot through the ball when out the corner of your eye you see your strike partner, could be Ash. Now you know that if you square it to him, he's surely not going to miss because he's got the open goal. The keeper's 1-on-1 with you. However, Nick, it's you that's got the ball at your feet. So what are you doing? Are you smashing it or are you passing it?
Well, if it's Ash, you'd never shut up about it. I'd rather knock it back to a midfielder than give it to Ash and let him take all the glory.
If it wasn't Ash, what would you be doing? Would you be smashing
This
it
is
or
a bit
passing
like.
it?
Is this a bit like Kane in the World Cup, wasn't it? He could have seen us through. I think I'd go for. I used to play up front when I was younger, so I'd probably go for a shot.
Yeah, you're all over it. You're smashing. Now, Ash, if you are in the chat, you know that question was coming your way this evening. So by all means, we will take your answer via text. It's not a problem. Just let us know if Ash, you would be smashing it or passing it. Right, let's dive.
What he'd do.
Let's dive in. So Georges Maron asked this question even before we even hit the start stream button. Thoughts, gents, Nick and Buna, on Marcus Alonso? Is he someone that you are looking at bringing into your team at all going forward? What's your thoughts? Nick, you can answer first if you want.
Yeah, so I do. I mean, there's been seasons, obviously, when he was kind of in his prime where he was the man to have, wasn't he? obviously assists, goals, the whole lot. He's still got that in him, but it's just a rotation risk. That is the problem with Chelsea.
Okay.
And I know he didn't start the last game, but then when he does start, he's looked good, hasn't he? So it's a tough one, but I certainly think, everyone knows Chelsea have got a really nice little run. They've got West Brom next, then Crystal Palace away. Blank game week in 32 at the minute, but obviously we'll see if anything happens with that. But I think I'd probably be tempted to avoid him. I just think there's better options out there at the moment.
Okay.
He's only obviously since he's played, he's played 6 games under Tuchel, and he scored once and got no assists. So he's not kind of in that form where it's irresistible to own him. I think there's probably better options out there. But I don't know, Boona, what do you reckon?
Yeah, thanks for that, Boona. That's much appreciated. Thanks for your input there. Is Boona actually?
I'm here. No, I didn't hear anything. My earpods must be messing up. What was said?
We were talking about Alonso, and we were talking about would you be bringing him into your team or looking at him?
I do want him.
Okay.
I do want him, but he is a rotation risk. So because of that,
which is what we were saying.
Even someone that is willing to take risks, would probably avoid.
You folk talking about Havertz in the midfield, but my midfield's crammed.
I want Mount. I think I want Mason Mount.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Havertz is just, again, same sort of thing really. He's looked alright recently, but he's just not guaranteed starts at all.
Yeah.
So I think I'd look elsewhere. I think if you're going if you want a defender, I don't know, there's options in that Chelsea back line. I've got Christensen at the minute.
Okay.
Rudiger's obviously doing well. He's not offering that many assists where you'd kind of think, well, it's worth going over. Or even Azpilicueta, I'd probably go with over Alonso. At least he's going to start.
I agree. And he's always in the bonus as well, isn't he?
It's just a shame I can't pronounce his name, but never mind. Azpilicueta.
Dave. There we go.
Yeah, Dave. Where are we? Oh, yeah, so we're talking. So the chat were blethering to each other as they always do, Nick. Just about the old fantasy football days. They're talking about the Scotland being able to pick Scotland players. So there's a few talking about. Paulie was saying that his dad always had Andy Gorham and Ali McCoist. But talking about Ali McCoist, what a commentator he is, by the way. If anyone wasn't aware on how good he was lately, if you've been listening to some of his stuff, I think he's
commentates on Prime as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. So good.
He's good. He's a likeable guy, isn't he? He does come across. I think he's good fun as well.
He was a great personality, even as manager.
Yeah, I used to listen to TalkSport when I used to drive to work every day. I used to listen to TalkSport, and I cannot stand Alan Brazil. But,
okay, yeah.
But Ali McCoy used to drag that show up, and it used to make it worth listening to.
Definitely.
But yeah, he's a proper guy. And I used to have when I was young, I had a Rangers shirt with his name on the back. Funny enough.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago.
Benji's. Now I don't really know where this one's going.
You love that. Say that again. Rangers. Did you say? Lama's favourite team, Rangers.
Yeah, we're moving on quickly. Is what I'm saying.
I've got a Celtic top as well, randomly.
Oh, see, there you go.
What are you, Sol Campbell?
Exactly. Well, I had the Rangers kit. I was about 8 years old, and I liked Ali McCoist, and it was it came with a free video. I think that's why my dad bought it. He loves a freebie. Came with 8 in a row. I think the video was called. It was a review of the season.
Okay.
Just hammering it. And it had, what was that Russian guy that played for Rangers? Can't remember. A long time ago. But it had Mikhailichenko. It had all these amazing old school players that I remember. But yeah, my mate for my 30th, he's a Celtic fan, and he got me a Celtic shirt with 30 on the back. So
nice. That's exactly what I did to my mate when he emigrated to Australia. I gave him a Celtic top to take away. Big Rangers fan as well. Benji, what do you think, Nick, about the Sheffield United owner coming out and saying Wilder asked if he should resign twice and asked for £4 million to do so? Do you know anything about that, Nick, Boona?
No, it's the first I'm hearing about it.
Nah.
He did reject me to come onto the show though.
He did. Yeah,
What?
you heard that, Nick?
Chris Wilder.
No. The owner,
owner.
the Saudi owner of Sheffield United.
Yeah, we actually, it was hilarious because Buna messaged Matt and I in our like WhatsApp chat and said, "Look at the email that I've just received from the owner of Sheffield United." Basically,
oh my God, you actually got an email back?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I
No, you
reached
got
out
it.
to him on Instagram.
Yeah.
I reached out to him on Instagram and he replied. And he was like, "Can you email on our work email?"
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
You never know though. Like maybe in the future sometime.
Okay, fair enough.
But it coincided just as they were preparing to get rid of Wilder.
It was funny.
So it makes sense now.
Yeah, because
he knew that'd be the first question.
They didn't want the heat.
Yeah, because Buna got the email like one day, and then he was sacked like 2 days later. So then we just decided, Buna, I must have had enough on his plate that week.
Exactly. You can imagine the first question that Buna's on. Oh, when are you going to inject your manager? That'd be it, wouldn't
it? Yeah. Sam, good old Sam, the meme man, is FPL Juice's favourite fight Colin Hendry versus Graham Lasso?
Oh, you mean on pitch? That was David Batty. David Batty and Graham Lasso, that was. In Europe. Yeah, they were in Russia. They had a game in Russia and they had a tear-up on the pitch. A bit like Kieran Dyer and
remember that.
Lee Bowyer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was quite something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they just went at it. I listened to a podcast with where Graham Lasso was on it, and they were just talking about how that came about. He said you just boiled over. Obviously, they were just underperforming massively that year, and it just started having a scrap on the pitch. But Batty's mental. David Batty is absolutely mental. Like everyone says, he apparently just goes off. He like when he finished football, he just went off the grid, just disappeared.
Right. Okay.
They had recently they did like 25th anniversary of like since Blackburn Rovers won the league. Every single player went apart from him, didn't turn up.
Wow.
He's just like I think he's one of them footballers, just hates football.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Just played it because he was good at it, but had no interest.
Anyone watching the England game? It's 1-0 to England, and it's Ward Prowse that scored the goal for England.
Got to be a free kick, isn't it?
Well, you would think so. Oh, is it not? Oh, no, yeah.
I'm
Sam's
just watching it right now.
Just said it's not from a free kick. Funnily enough. Harry Dawson in the chat. I've done better the last 6-7 game weeks, and I've only had Kane in, and I've had over £10 million in his bank for ages. Just a strange season, Nick.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing. Is he saving?
The value isn't in the premiums, is it? Really? There's a lot of ways to play the game at the minute, which is great. I think it's the most fun game that we've had for years.
I would agree with that, and that's what he goes on to say there. He's got 14 players, all under like 17 million each, and he reckons that there's a lot of options there, which basically is what we're agreeing with. Sam, I've also noticed trends. My game week scores go down when Nihal doesn't post his team for me to copy. It's a real strange coincidence. Ash is
Nihal,
commenting.
send me your team.
Ash is commenting he loves the Juicy Mind games.
Oh yeah, see, he says he loves it. It's when it works in his favour he loves it.
I was just trying to have a look to see if there was any other kind of questions there, because I know we've went on a little bit there past where we said we were going to. But our good friend from Twitter, and you know about this. Well, I'm sure it was you that did you not post back, Nick, or was it Ash? Sure, it was you.
Oh no, I said it's a great question. Is it Lynn's?
Yeah. Did you see this, Buna?
Nah, I didn't.
Right. Okay. Well,
this is a perfect question for you, Buna.
Yeah,
I think being in Luton.
I'm just trying to find it again. Where is it?
It wasn't me.
Exactly. You can see where this is going.
Buna, if you want to ask Nick anything now, I'll quickly find this, and then we'll finish on this one, because I think for Nick and I, we would probably give quite sensible answers, but for you, I think you could go on a different planet. To be honest.
Nick, give us a bit of an overview of how your season's gone and what your kind of what your target kind of finishes from now till the end.
Cool. So my season's been decent. At the minute, I'm at my highest so far. I sort of went quite high up early on. I was sitting around 100k, 100 to 150k for quite a while, and then I slipped back down into the 200s. But I'm back up. I'm 86,000 at the minute.
Oh, get him off. Get him off. We don't need these good ranks on here, for God's sake. I was feeling so good about this international break, not thinking about FPL, and he just reminded me how shit I'm doing.
Well,
where are you sat at the minute, Bruno?
It's irrelevant, bro. It doesn't matter.
he sat behind me, and I was sitting at 2 million 7 game weeks ago, and I'm now sitting at, what is it, 5.5k? 550,000. Yeah, let's get that.
I'm 594 at the moment.
So Buna's just
I
behind me.
Anything under 590 is good.
Well, I just missed that, didn't I?
Who would have thought? No, I think it's a funny season, but yeah, my target, I guess, my best finish is 60k, so I'd love to better that. Hopefully top 50k, but yeah, we'll see. I've still got bench boost, so. But I've used my other wild cards. I know a lot of people are probably going to attack the next wild card in the next couple of game weeks, aren't they? So we'll see how that affects things.
We'll be fine. Buna and I have got no chips, but we will keep going. We are strong.
By the way, why do San Marino even bother? Like, they're that bad.
Because San Marino always give Scotland a challenge.
Like Ryman League or Evo Stick League.
Yeah. But they're also the type of team that Scotland can go out and like beat France and then turn up against San Marino and get a draw. Because that's just.
Did you draw against them?
Well, mate, we've had them, and what's the other one that's a bit shite? I was going to say Montenegro.
Liechtenstein?
Yeah, that rings a bell. There's teams that England and Scotland always seem to get in their groups.
Mate, Sterling's so shit, by the way.
Oh, is he still shit?
Oh my god, why is it only taking me this long? Why is it taking me this long to realise this?
Nick, how long would you have kept Sterling for? I think Buna's trying to ask.
Oh, yeah, a long time before now.
Yeah.
He's just not looked. The thing is with Sterling, there's times in seasons gone past where he's not looked like he's doing very much, but he still returns. He taps one in at the far post, gets the points for that, gets assists that bounce off him, but he's not even getting that this year.
Nah. Gibraltar, that's it. Nihal's on it tonight.
Oh, Gibraltar, yeah.
Nihal is on it. He knows exactly where we're at.
He's just not a good footballer. His touch, his finish, they're all so like.
Yeah. Well, Pep was meant to improve that, wasn't he? Like everyone knew that about him, and it was like this kind of myth that when Pep gets hold of him, he's going to turn him into Messi.
And now it's just went Messi.
Yeah, now exactly. Yeah, he's still Theo Walcott. For sure.
He's no longer like that starting lineup, is he? Yeah, I think that lineup's definitely confirmed now. We've got a bit more idea of what the starting 11
I hope
is.
So.
You've got,
I've got Mahrez in my team, so I certainly hope that.
Yeah, I do want to bring Mahrez in.
Someone tweeted me that earlier, funnily enough, someone was asking who to get rid of out of Mahrez, Diaz, and Gundogan. I was like, why would you want to get rid of any of them? Anywho,
yeah, I suppose because of the blank game week coming up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
they don't want to carry more than a couple. Because Spurs have got the same week off as well, haven't they? But yeah, it's a tough one.
I think Buna and we might need to lock heads in a bit and see what we're figuring out down here. But we'll leave that for after the international break. Right, quick question for the chat, and then we'll go into this one, and we'll see what Buna's answer is, Nick.
Mate, we're in a cash league together. You ain't getting no help from me. You're crazy.
Nick, what's your favourite fruit juice? FPL juice, fruit juice.
FPL Juice.
It's got the FPL Juice, which is the
on
beer
that
we're
note,
bringing out soon.
Yeah, you need to announce this actually. Nick, go on, open platform.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we're bringing out a beer called
What?
FPL Juice.
Brilliant.
So we teamed up with a brewery.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin goal.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, he's back in the goals. So yeah, we're bringing out a beer for FPL fans. So it's going to be available pretty soon. It was meant to be available a couple of weeks ago, but
that is so good.
Bit of a problem with the labels.
Right.
But they're all printed up now. So yeah, we got FPL Doodles. Do you know him?
Oh yeah. He done my poster.
Yeah, I thought I recognised the style. Yep. So he's done our label for us. And yeah, we're gonna do a run of 1,000 bottles, see how it goes of FPL beer, and then we're gonna might move on to a pale ale.
You're gonna have to need more than that. Llama will take 1,000.
Well, I was going to ask politely if I slid into your DMs, would you, and obviously pay you for it. Obviously, would you be able to send me up a few?
Oh yeah, we'll hook you up, no problem. The
Perfect.
brewery's actually in Scotland, funny enough.
See, We're not
There you
that
go.
bad up
They all
here.
are, though, aren't they?
That's to drive past my house just to get it delivered down south.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're sorting it all out for us, and yeah, soon we'll be able to tweet out a link, and you'll just be able to order it online and get it
Oh,
delivered.
that's
And,
brilliant.
yeah, a bit of fun for it. So, yeah,
Nah,
it's cool.
well, I wish you all the very best with that because I like it. We've had lots of good stories like this evening, Boone, haven't we? And that's another belter. I love hearing things like that. So no, obviously wish you the very best with that. Right, this was Lynn's question, right? Nick and I will go quiet in the background, Boone, and we'll just hit you with it straight because we've had a wee bit of a chance to think about it. Lynn just asked simply, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you'd done?
Probably like run someone over.
Oh wow! You didn't need to go there.
I like what you've done there. You didn't go with speeding. You've gone, I've actually hit someone.
Yeah.
Actually smashed into them.
Jeez. Okay, Nick, where were you going to go with it?
So, I'm known for being a bit gullible.
Okay.
So, amongst my family, anyway. I would probably have to say. I'd probably have to say it'd be something like drug smuggling, but accidentally.
Accidentally drug smuggling.
Yeah, like someone's come up to the airport.
Jesus.
Oh, hi, Nick. Do you mind just carrying? Just put this up your bum, but don't worry, it's nothing sinister. And we'll meet you on the other side. And I'll probably be like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
no,
that's
I just want to
fine.
help out. That's fine.
I'm just
So
helping
I
a
would have
friend,
to
yeah.
say that would probably be the one. That would be the one.
Okay, so we've got someone running someone over. We've got someone drug smuggling, and it would be a fight. It would be, who you hit, as in not run over like Boona, as in hit because of being drunk, basically. That would be mine. Lynn's just Lynn, that's just crazy, isn't it? Run someone over.
It's a great question, though.
That is a great question. I might just pinch that from Lynn and just leave it sitting there in the back burner for our future episodes.
Some dodgy dilemmas, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. But no, Boona, I think we'll wrap things up there, Nick and
Question for Nick though.
Oh, okay.
They did so Nick and Ash did a podcast with ex-Tottenham footballer Tom Carroll yesterday.
Oh,
how did you find that? That was brilliant. When you told me, I was like, pretty sure he plays for. He's
QPR now.
Yeah, it's the same. Is he QPR now? Is he?
So basically, he's at QPR now.
Amazing.
He was when Swansea were in the Premier League. He was
there,
at Swansea. And he was actually last year he was at Villa, but he didn't make many appearances.
okay.
So yeah, no, we got him on. He's a friend of a friend. We're quite lucky. We've got a few people that are footballers, sort of friends of other friends. We've had on Adrian Mariappa on this year.
I saw that.
We
Yeah.
had Richard Lee, the old Watford goalkeeper, as well. So we've had them both on. But yeah, so we're trying to do more of that stuff. Obviously, as I was saying to you before we come on air tonight, it's been a shame that lockdown sort of happened because it's made it more and more difficult for us to get people in the studio. But yeah, hopefully we're going to be doing more of that stuff. So we're working on it. But yeah, it's great that we're able to get these people in and have a good chat with them. And he's an absolute gent. All the guys that we've had on have been, top drawer, to be fair. Really good fun. But yeah, Tom's a lovely guy. So that podcast's going to be out tomorrow night. Actually, we're going to premiere. We had him live on the pod just briefly, but we did a whole chat with him just before we came on air. But so that'll be released tomorrow night. That'll be on the podcast.
No, excellent. And talking about true gents, you are a true gent, and thank you very much for being with us. I'd already spoke to Ash earlier. Obviously, unfortunately, he couldn't be on tonight, but did obviously wish him well. And as for you as well, Nick, the doors are always open, so you're welcome to pop in.
Come back on with Ash. So we can do the full Juice experience. But yeah, it's awesome. And I just wanted to mention as well, if anyone doesn't already subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, please go and do that, because we're doing a little giveaway where when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're giving away a PS5.
Yes.
Anyone who's up for that, just head over, subscribe to the channel, and then email you a screenshot of you being subscribed to ash@fpljuice.com, and it'll get you in the...
There's a chance for that, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're sitting at 150 something subscribers, I think. So there's like 140 odd places left.
Yep.
And of the people that subscribed, I think there's only maybe 200 to 300 people that have actually entered the competition. So it's literally like a one in.
I subscribed ages ago, but I didn't even like what's it called? What I mean. Some people screened it or anything.
Yeah, some people might not be aware of it. So you can definitely like a 1 in 300 chance of winning a PS5, mate. Is a good.
Just a screenshot off the fact that we're subscribed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
where can I find that email, Nick?
ash@fpljuice.com.
ash@fpljuice.com, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, we mention it every week on the podcast just briefly, but yeah, if you haven't already done it, guys, get involved because it'd be good to give it away to someone. Obviously, we're not going to be able to fix it, but it'd be nice if it did go to someone from the FPL community.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm totally behind that. It's kind of like us as well with the Lit League that we've got running just now, because you know there's a lot of good prizes in that at the end of the season to give people a second chance. You know, the people that tend to just give up at Christmas time. That was the whole reason we did that. But you are going to get people that you don't know, obviously. But it would be good if it was someone that you know that's a regular in your streams and stuff like that.
Definitely. That's the hope.
No, perfect. Thank you very much for that. So you've got some beers coming out soon. Got PS5 that'll be coming up soon. Lots to get involved in with the juice. So just remind everyone where to find you again, sorry, before we disappear. Where you are all at. On Twitter it's FPL_juice. And on Instagram it's FPL_juice as well. And then Ash has started doing TikToks. So if you want to see a grown man in his 30s doing TikTok, head over to FPL Juice on TikTok as well. He's some boy, Ash.
So yeah, we've got all that going on. And then on YouTube, just search FPL Juice and you'll find us there. So yeah, that's all the channels.
Absolute diamond. Just seen a Dan pop in there. Dan, hope you're doing well, young man. Take it easy. Bruno, you want to wrap things up, mate? Let the audience know where we are at next week. And it is April Fool's Day, but this isn't a ruse or a joke. This is true.
You're not going to
absolutely.
Yeah.
Nick, absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for joining us today. It's been brilliant.
Oh, mate, thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll be able to get Ash on with yourself at some point. If not this season, then in the summer, definitely.
Yeah, 100%,
and for those joining us, if you are new, I think most people are pretty regular listeners. But if you are new to the channel, please do hit that like and subscribe button. It is really much appreciated. As far as our next appearance goes, Lama, I presume we won't be doing one on Sunday.
I don't know yet. Let's not thing me on it. But I might do one myself, but I'm not sure.
Rightio, but other than that, we'll be back next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem Sterling shoots over the bar again because he's an absolute piece of waste of space. Next Thursday, we will have someone that was recently on the FPL Juice podcast, actually Gianni, joining us. So really, really looking forward to that one. Your podcast with Gianni was absolutely brilliant. So if anyone wants to get a feel for what... Yeah, exactly. And he really is great when it comes to these podcasts. And Raheem Sterling has just scored.
Take back what you said.
I take it back, Raheem. I'll buy you back in FPL, I promise. But no, guys, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. And enjoy the rest of the FPL break. Take care.
Take care, folks. Cheers.